Certainly, time is already flying, and the summer just feels like it
Yeah.
just began for a lot of us. And one of the things, in addition to the schedule, that you and Spencer have to handle as well is the affiliation with the National Hockey League and American Hockey League organizations. And the Stingrays currently with the Boston Bruins and the Providence Bruins. But looking ahead, we saw a couple teams already announce that they will not be renewing their affiliation agreements with certain clubs. So there's more options out there,
Yeah.
and I know that was something a lot of fans and Post and Courier beat writer Andrew Miller alluded to just with the Stingrays this past season. That unlike seasons past where we had a lot of guys coming down from NHL clubs, this time it was a little different. We didn't have as much, and we had a lot of guys, a lot of free agents, a lot of guys coming up from other leagues as well. So what's kind of your goal and approach to an affiliation for next year?
Well, it was an odd year from the beginning, I think. Obviously with the lockout. It was a new affiliate year with the Bruins and Providence, which we thought worked excellent. Spencer, I think, dealt more with Don Sweeney than I did. He did on a daily basis, and I know that relationship was very strong. And as you said, look at the Bruins are going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Providence had a stellar year, and they unfortunately were upset by Wilkes-Barre, up 3-0 in the AHL playoffs. But yes, we took a step back and we try to, figure out how we can improve the overall product, because obviously we want to be in the championship every year. Obviously, we don't want to lose in the first round of the playoffs. But if you look at it from an outsider's point of view, and I thought that Spencer and JB did a terrific job with the guys. I really, really do. I was just as mad probably as Spencer was and JB and our fans were that we lost 4-0. That's not what we want to do. But when you look at the amount of bodies that we had on the IR, the amount of call-ups we had, I thought that at the end of the year I was really proud of the way that the guys played, you know what I mean, and the job that Spencer had done. So as regards to the affiliate, Spencer's already talked to Don Sweeney. Obviously, it's a busy time for him, but I'm sure we'll have something wrapped up in the next couple of weeks. We haven't talked to anyone else. Obviously, we're going to try to work things out probably with Boston and see how things go there. I think last year we did this in July, so I think we are ahead of the curve. I know that we enjoyed working with Boston and Providence. I know that Boston and Don Sweeney enjoyed working with us. And maybe there's a way that we can try to improve it for both Providence and Boston and Providence and the Stingrays, so it works more cohesively. I know what people are probably going to say because they've called me. Hey, look, Reading won the championship. There's some of our old guys, and I couldn't be happier for Dusty Stevenson. For Patrick Weller, who played here back in 2009, Nikita Kashersky, who played here in 2009. Obviously, Brett Fleming. I think Philip Grubauer had a lot to do with them getting an amazing start. I think at one point he won 20-something games before he got called up to Hershey. So it's good to see that. You know what I mean? It's good to see that the East won again, back-to-back years that the East won. I think I looked at the schedule or the past winners, and out of the 11 past winners, like 7 or 8 of them, came from the East. So it's good to see that. So. As it regards to the affiliate, we're working on that right now. Spencer and I are a little bit of a holding pattern because of the timing of everything, but I think we'll have everything squared away in the next couple of weeks.
And just to get your thoughts on it, it's always something that's intrigued me, and you made me think of it when you were talking about Reading and the East versus West. It seems like it's maybe a little different brand of hockey. We saw 2 West teams come out here last year in Ontario and Idaho, and that was certainly exciting to see somebody different, but also just a little different style of hockey coming from the West. But as you mentioned, the East seems to be the dominant side, or at least in recent history. So would you say there's a pretty significant difference between the sides?
Well, I think last year playing Ontario, they seemed to be a real physical team. And that was the rumor, and that was the scouting report, and that's what we heard from, people in the league who, watch our games and then go games out west. They're like, well, the West are a lot more physical teams. I think we played Idaho, we played Ontario. I wouldn't think that Idaho was as physical as Ontario, but they had some good teams. You know what I mean? They played well. I don't think we were able to play anyone else from out west this year. And we looked into going out west this year. I did. But it just didn't make any sense. Looking at, from a financial standpoint of how much flights are, per diem, hotels, to go out there and play 3 games or to play 6 games in 10 days, it doesn't make sense. From a competitive standpoint, I would love it. I would love for us to be able to, fly out west, play 3 games, come home, play 3 games, but unfortunately that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Well, now looking ahead towards the 2013-14 season, what are some of the exciting things we can look forward to? I know we're making a return in last year's special year 20th anniversary jerseys, and this year we're kind of making a little bit of a return to our normal jerseys. Our Navy jerseys staying the same for what a lot of fans are used to, but our home jerseys have a little bit of a different tweak to them.
Yeah, the white one, we tweaked it a little bit, and you made it, you brought it to my attention yesterday. It looked like something from 2005, and at first I disagreed with you, and then you brought it to my attention via a picture how similar they were, and it wasn't done on purpose. It was just I wanted to add a little bit more consistency and a classic look to the white jersey to make it kind of similar to the blue jersey. We got rid of the ties. There was a lot of pros and cons with having the ties. I think bringing them in once in a while is pretty good. But yeah, I'm happy with the overall look of the new white jersey, which is going to be the home jersey probably the second half of the season, or vice versa, like the league does it. Similar patches on the shoulders of the bridge with the hockey puck, and then our classic crest logo out there. One thing that the league has changed is everything's going to be CCM on the jerseys and the equipment. Reebok's not going to be on it. Reebok may be on some of the helmets, but for the most part, that's the main change with the game jersey this year. Working hard, trying to improve in all areas. Joey, get a little bit of a head start on the merchandise this year. We could have some youth toddler sublimated jerseys for like 2T, 4T, 5T, 6T for the little kids, which is going to be pretty cool, I think. Working with 47 brand on some different hat styles. I'm excited about that. We're going to get some performance fit shirts, like some of the stuff that the guys would be wearing. I know last year those sold pretty well. So yeah, we're off to a good start. I'm really excited about how the staff's working out there. Obviously, going to try to improve some of the promos that we had in the past years. So once I get the schedule finalized, I'll probably sit down with everybody and just go over, hey, here's some of the good nights that we had in the past. Here's some ways to maybe improve, maybe have a school game this year. We're researching that as well. So we're always trying to improve the experience and the atmosphere. And like I said earlier in this interview, I've already sat down with the Coliseum, and we're in this together. And we're trying to improve the experience for everyone, whether they come into a game for one game or whether they're going to come to a game for 36, 24, or 12 games as a season ticket holder. So I'm real excited about the summer. I'm real excited about the changes and the improvements that we're hopefully going to make, and hopefully it's going to show with more people at the games. And everyone loves Superfan, everyone loves the Superstars, but we're trying to maybe do some other things, like maybe get Cy from Duck Dynasty at the game, for Faith and Fun Night or something like that. That was a suggestion that you had researched. Maybe try to get the Stanley Cup here this year at the game, and things like that. So we are exploring how other teams do things. Actually, one of the teams out west actually plays games at 6 o'clock on Saturdays. So I haven't committed to doing that, but I'm going to talk to them and see what the pros and cons of having a 6 o'clock game was on Tuesday nights. So those are some of the things that I've sat down, and actually, there's one other merchandise-related thing, is a mascot that I designed last year that I didn't have time to kind of order. And I think that the fans are going to love it. It's a little cool Ray. Right now my daughter has it and she sleeps with it, but it's a really cool, probably 16-inch furry little cool Ray with the game jersey on, embroidered on his shot. So I would love to show everyone that, but I can't get it out of my daughter's hand.
Well, Rob, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with you and give us a little bit of an update on what's going on in the Stingrays world.
As always, Joey, thank you.